everyone, and welcome to what is going to be the final video for the Valentine's Day event. It's section 7, and then after this is the epilogue. It's time to figure out what the hell is going on in this, and then I can finally actually start grinding as well. So that's going to be today's video. Let's finish this off already, shall we? Beyond the River of Chocolate, section 7. Alright, I think now's a good time for a little chat. Speaking as Chaldea's technical advisor, there are some things I can overlook and some I definitely can't. What's up? Is this about how different I look in my downtime outfit? Cause there's a reason for that. I told you how I used to skip my classes so I could go hang out at the beach with my friends from town, right? Well, I had to at least change my hair color, or the guards would spot me a kilometer away when they... No, I'm not talking about that, although the reasons you change your appearance are definitely relevant. I think we all stopped questioning it at some point, but I'm actually talking about you, Columbus. Me? What about me? Well, I guess my clothes do look a little different in this singularity. But it's like I told you back at the start. I don't know why that happened either, and it's not like all that unusual for servants to change appearances, right? Think about how different a lot of them look during summer or Christmas. So I'd rather you not worry too much about my new look. I'm bringing this up because I'm pretty sure there's more to it than a new look. I see Mash is quietly taking up a defensive position. For example, we never did get into how you produced all those coins during that river battle with the pirates. What? That? I had to, or we couldn't have won, right? That's true, and I do appreciate you helping us out back there. But the thing is, that went way beyond materialized data tied to your spirit origin. There were way too many coins for that, not to mention you produced them way too naturally. So the way I see it, that must have been a phenomenon equivalent to a heroic spirit's skills. But Chaldea's Columbus doesn't have anything like that in his data. So I have to ask, who are you, really? Hey now, how many times do I gotta say it? You can see it for yourself. I'm Columbus. Yes, we know, your spirit origin pattern does line up with that. The problem is, there are some particulars we can't verify. There's a part in you that's basically a black box. So I suspect you are Columbus, but something else is mixed in with you. Oh, how intriguing. If that is true, it would mean that you have been deceiving me this entire time. I don't really get what you guys are talking about, but is it something bad? That's what we're trying to find out. How about it, Columbus? If you have an answer for our questions, I'd appreciate it if you told us on your own volition. What to do? Shouldn't be long now, so I had a feeling it might just be a matter of time before... Whoa! What's going on? Did the ship just suddenly pick up speed? We're here. Oh my god. It's the chocolate pitfall. That hole is huge. Is that where we've been trying to get to? Chocolate River's flowing into that hole at a very high speed. Stop adding chocolate and boulders before it pulls us down there. I have stopped, but it's moving on its own now. Santa Maria, drop anchor. We stopped. Thankfully, yes, but the Chocolate River is still flowing into that hole. What is that thing anyway? Now that we made it here, there's no reason to keep it a secret any longer. I'll tell you what it is. It's a pit that leads to the underworld. Well, I guess it'd be more accurate to say it leads to a place that's becoming the underworld. place where chocolate that never gets gifted goes to die, along with the feelings behind it. So it's not actually the underworld, not yet anyway. But now that you know where it's ending up, I'm guessing you can tell what this chocolate river really signifies. The river Styx? The river that leads to the underworld. So then, this is the river Styx? I was right when I called it the river Twix! The first video I did, I called it down the river Twix because I thought it was a good funny pun on we're going down a river kind of like the Styx, and I put Twix because it's chocolate. We are going down the river Twix. Oh my god, I had no idea. Exactly, it's the concept of a river flowing throughout the underworld seen in all kinds of myths, taking on physical form. Oh, that's not good. So are you Charon then? Charon? Charon? No, I think it's Charon. You people have probably seen it before. I know out in parts of the Far East they call it the Sanzu River. There, you remember me. So then, that local we met was a Sanzu River Oni. And those rock piles, are those of Sanzu's riverbank? Now I see. If that's the case, then that does bring a few things to mind. But it also begs the question, how do you know that? Because my goal was to bring you people here, of course. I had to get you here no matter what. I couldn't let you get held up anywhere further up the river. It's like I told you way back at the start. I'm willing to lie if it means getting a ship to its destination. Columbus, are you? You people are on the right track. I am Chaldeus Columbus, but that's not all I am. Here on this ship, it's mostly been me driving the spirit origin I'm borrowing from him. Hell, now that I've said that much, you can probably guess who I am without me telling you. If this river is close to its conceptual idea, then it wouldn't just be the Sanzu River. It'd have to be the same underworld river that shows up in Europe, India, and Egypt myth too. So we have a myth spanning river Styx, an underworld, and a boat. Does that mean you're... Well, I guess I might as well tell you. Here, my name is Charon. I'm the one who rows the boat that crosses the river Styx. Charon, as in the underworld ferryman? That's who you really are, beard guy? Some of you don't look all that surprised. Does that mean you are starting to catch on? But could have told me you worked for one thing. There were some things that gave it away. For example, you never cackled this time. And that's not the only thing that bothered me. Hope you can believe me when I say I'm here to make sure the ship gets to where it needs to go. Yeah, Columbus wasn't really good at that. I'm no hero, I'm just a sailor who gets shipped where they need to go. Is the smoking gun here that Columbus is shitty at making out where he needs to go? The real Columbus would have said something like, where I want to go. I see. The Columbus beside me is laughing and saying, you're dead on right now. You're a lot sharper than I thought. Charon, the ferryman of the river Styx, sometimes known as the river Acheron, who appears in Greek mythology. As I recall, you're the child of Erebus, the god of darkness, and Nyx, the goddess of night, so I guess that makes you a god too? The dead would always pay him in silver coins for safe passage to the underworld, right? I see, so that's why you had all those silver coins. And according to some descriptions, he's said to be an old man with red eyes and long beard. Yeah, that tracks. I was too used to how he looked like from Hades. That is the version of him I'm most now familiar with, which is just like a skeleton man. But I also recall you usually wear a tattered old robe, so I'm surprised you're dressed so sharply. I guess there's also that guy from Undertale that's supposed to also look like Charon. I don't remember his actual name in Undertale, but that's what he's supposed to look like. That was Columbus's doing. He was okay with me borrowing his spirit origin, but he said if I was going to steer this ship too, I needed to dress the part. I didn't have any other choice, so I had to tailor this new outfit for me. It cost me some coin, of course, but it was a fair trade. I'd expect no less from a businessman. Never mind your clothes. Get to the point. Why did you deceive us? What was the purpose in guiding us here? What, you need to ask? I want you people to get rid of that faux underworld hole. I mean, you could have just told us. You didn't need to actually like lie to us or something. We would have just likely done it if you had told us who you were from the start. We're just kind of that kind of group. In a word, I guess you could say I'm a client with a prospective job. I'm betting that hole is the core of this singularity. It's the entrance to a new underworld taking shape that you could only get to from this chocolate river Styx. And I want to see it gone just as much as you do. I think I understand. But to be honest, this is all so sudden that I'm having a hard time following. I don't get it. If you really are the ferryman to the underworld, why would you want the underworld gone? It's simple. An underworld that revolves around dead chocolate, of all things, is no underworld at all. I can't bring the dead to an underworld like that. It goes against everything I believe as a ferryman. You people don't count because you're not dead. Still, dead or not, I did bring you here, so I'm going to insist you pay the charge. Lucky for you, it won't cost you a single silver obol. All I ask is you get rid of that hole, please. What do you think, Da Vinci? Well, it does look like the Holy Grail's inside that hole. That must be what's attracting the jet chocolate concept, which is in turn creating a new underworld. It basically happened spontaneously without anyone's nefarious involvement. So that explains how this singularity came about. My primary order is to eliminate singularities. In this case, that would seem to align with your goal. But I still don't know why you didn't just tell us all this from the start. Because I couldn't prove there was a hole or tell you where it was located. I could intuitively sense that this chocolate river had the same traits as the river Styx, and that a new underworld has been formed as its endpoint. But I couldn't have told you where that actually was until we got there. Besides, for some reason, you were mistrustful of me right from the start. Well, listen, unfortunately, you did pick, like, the worst guy to kind of inhabit the body of. Even if I told you what I'd known back then, I didn't have to answer for your biggest question. So it was obvious that telling you before we got here would have just made me look even more suspicious. And if I slipped up in any way after that, well, you probably wouldn't listen to another word I said, right? Besides, I could tell from the scent of death mixed in with the chocolate smell from the stagnant river that I had to do something about the situation before this world got even more messed up. Long story short, before we set about either treating the symptoms or solving the problems at its core, I had to hurry up and get you people down the river before I could explain what was really going on. I always planned on telling you everything I knew once we got here. Yeah, this is just a hunch, but I don't think you're lying. I believe you. So, while you're explaining, can I ask you about something else? Why did you say this river would let people see someone they miss? Yeah, good question. For that matter, why did we need to imbue the river with somebody's trait in the first place? Oh, that? I actually wasn't being fully honest with you there either. It wasn't a trait we needed to get the river moving, it was a yearning that would guide the way. The river gained traits as a result was just kind of a side effect. It's the desire to see someone you missed that moves the river along. The Holy Grail was trying to create an underworld that was tied to the concept of dead chocolate. But that wasn't enough to get the river moving. That's why it was standing still when you got here. To fix that, we needed to give the river a stronger emotion that would propel it along. And the emotion that went best with ungifted chocolate ended up being the desire to see someone you miss. The locals must have picked up on this subconsciously. And they weren't wrong. The underworld's where the dead go to rest, and everyone dies eventually. So if you ignore the timeline aspect, you could see the people you missed there by following this chocolate river. And that's where this river ultimately leads. I see. So that's what they meant. I can tell you're disappointed. But if that hole had finished becoming a new underworld, I really do think you could have seen him. As an underworld made by pouring in a river that lets you see the people you miss, it makes sense for it to then become an underworld that lets you see the people you miss. So, what will you do now? I mean, we gotta close that fucking hole. What else? We gotta plug up that hole. Otherwise, the singularity will never go away, right? Oh, what about seeing your lover? Don't you still miss him? Of course I do. But as much as I want to see him, I can tell that this is no place for second thoughts. I made up my mind that I was going to become a hero who helped other people. That's the whole reason I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, there's no need to thank me for it. Any hero would do the same. Alright, now let's figure out what we're going to how we're actually going to do this. It's a good question, and I don't know how you cover up the hole. Okay, after running some scans, we now know that the hole mostly consists of an alternate dimension. But it's also technically a real physical hole as well. Imagine, it's like that one Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode where Homer goes into the 3D world. It's exact same concept. Imagine an incredibly steep chocolate waterfall and you'll have a good idea of what it looks like on the inside. The Holy Grail signal looks to be about several dozen meters below the surface. Can we salvage it from up here? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. We can't pin down its coordinates in 3D space, so we only have a rough idea of its location. Which means someone is going to have to actually go inside the hole to collect it. Oh, me, I'll do it. Are you sure? I mean, full disclosure, given our current gear, you're probably the only one there who could do it, but still. It shouldn't have been too much trouble going down this chocolate waterfall safely as long as I'm on Cetus. And if I max out his power, I ought to make it back up the waterfall no problem too. So you are confident in this, girl? Of course, just leave it to me. It's definitely dangerous, but I think it's also our only practical option. Okay, if you can grab the Holy Grail yourself while you're down there, great. If you can't, just fire an anchor at its location and we can use it on our next plan. Thanks for doing this. I wish there was more I could do to help. At least take this comms device with you. I have some experience providing mission support from a kind of command tower, so I might be able to help you that way. Mash on the command tower, she can tap for any 1 mana that your commander can make. Will do. Thanks. Is there anything you'd like to say, Master? Maybe just one thing. Don't throw your life away, got it? Looks like you got a glimpse of my past. Guess that happens with masters and servants sometimes. Anyway, I appreciate that, but you got the wrong idea. I never planned on dying back then, that's the truth. I don't know if you'll believe me, but in my own way, I was doing my best to fight. I just wish I could have done a better job then. Got it. Just watch yourself down there. She's got this. I believe in you, Andromeda. Okay, I'm all set. Let's do one last check at the risk of repeating myself. We just need you to go down there and check things out. Don't take unnecessary risk. If you feel like you're in danger, you can come back straight away. Roger, Dodger. You seem to be taking this very casually. Well, no matter. If something happens, it will not be me dying. If worst comes to worst, I can at least throw in some poison that will ensure you do not suffer. So you may rest assured if you make your way down the pit, girl. You haven't changed a bit, huh, Empress? I guess you really aren't quite like my mother. Alright, everyone. I'll be back soon. Be careful. Go, Cetus! Alright, I'm making my way down the Chocolate River on Cetus. Now, We'll be at the hole soon. Understood. Please exercise maximum caution as you make your way down. Okay, we're here. Well, guess this is where the real work begins. Take your time, Cetus. Don't let the waterfall drag you down. Good luck, Missy. I'm counting on you. This is a rescue mission down the chocolate hole. Are you okay, Andromeda? Are the comms still working? Yep, reading you loud and clear. What's it like down there? It's really dark and the chocolate smells really strong. It feels like I've turned into chocolate myself. Okay, I think my eyes are starting to adjust. I'll try going in the direction you said the Holy Grail might be at. I don't know if it's floating in midair or buried in chocolate or what, but hopefully I'll see when I... Is something wrong? That's weird. I thought I saw something off, but couldn't get a good look at it. It almost seemed like there was something odd with the chocolate waterfall. What the? The chocolate's moving on its... Ah! Andromeda! Andromeda! That didn't sound good. And that is not all. Chocolate swirling up from the hole. The hole must have figured out we're trying to close it. Seems like it's using the Holy Grail's power to control the chocolate that's pouring in, and wielding it in place of limbs. You mean the hole has a mind of its own? I've been told that many times before. Or at least it's a self-preservation instinct. I'm surprised to see such behavior from a hole, but I suppose anything goes with a Holy Grail involved. Damn it, it's taking everything I got to keep the ship from capsizing. You people will have to... Master, as crazy as it sounds, I think the hole is trying to attack us with chocolate. Oh, then we'll have to fight back with all we've got. Fight chocolate. Fight it all down. Okay, it's an Avenger of chocolate. Sure. Bring in here. Can I still use Andromeda, even though she's been taken? The answer is yes, I can. So I shall. Even though it would probably be better to get a unit that is single target focused, maybe? Unless there's like a AoE battle. That's just straight up a hole. This might be the craziest thing we've had to fight, because this might be the first time we've ever had to fucking fight just a giant ass hole. Yeah, that should gain protection from a bunch of shit, so we cannot damage the hole. I'm gonna assume that we have to just simply survive against the hole. If that's the case, then there's really no reason for me to be doing any big AoE stuff then. I'm not going to be dealing any damage. Yeah, see? Oh, with this? Aw, oh, damn, they hit us with confused. Chocolate rain! Chocolate rain! They just hit me for a critical strike. Chocolate rain. I'm hitting them with no phantasm so I can get to stage 2. Doesn't really go with the song. Yeah, I don't expect to do very much damage on this one. It was literally just so that this one I can have just a little bit more protection. Whoop. Okay, we should be fine here. Hey! How was the hole not done? There we go. Come on. How are you still active, Hole? That's all I want to know. I'm just gonna do it this way. It should hopefully be done pretty soon. If not, we're gonna run into a lot of problems. The skunk? Chocolate red. Now we're on turn 5. It's gonna turn out that I actually do have to kill this thing. And if that's the case, we're gonna have a little bit of problem. I mean, it's losing losing some of its HP, which makes me feel like maybe I do have to fight this thing. Critical hits is a pretty good way of stopping it, but I'll learn now. There's usually not many fights that I can think of that go past turn 5. There we go. I was about to say, most fights do not, if it's a survive type fight, they don't go past turn 5, but anyway. I've still got my hands full over here. How are things looking? We've managed to subdue the chocolate for this time being, but we're not out of the woods yet. Damn it, what happened to the girl? I've been trying to reach her, but she's not answering. If that hole's putting up this much of a fight out here, the inside's gotta be Andromeda. No, it's obviously much tougher when you get inside the hole versus when you're outside of the hole. That's just common sense. Right, next part. In an instant, the darkness seemed like it had come to life. The next instant, I felt something dark, heavy, and sweet. It enveloped me from head to toe before I could even react. Now I'm trapped. It's so dark, heavy, and sweet in here, I feel as though I've become chocolate myself. I literally can't even lift a finger. No, I can't tell if I'm lifting one or not. I can't tell if my eyes are open or closed. I can't even tell if I'm still breathing or not. All I can tell is that I'm very, very tired. This dark, sweet heaviness is nice and warm, like a blanket swaddling my entire body. More specifically, this heaviness is made up of exhaustion, bravado, fear, misconceptions, misunderstandings, hope, and a lot of other things. It's so heavy and sweet that it's very hard to resist. Even though I know it's not actually happening, I can feel my mind's eye start to close. It was then that I remembered those words. A river that lets you see the one you miss, a world that lets you see the one you miss. That's right. If that's true, then maybe I can see him again if I fall asleep. I miss him. I miss him so much. After all, I wanted to be a hero. My parents were as human as anyone. They laughed and cried, they rejoiced and envied, and sometimes their pride got the better of them. And now, thanks to that pride, everyone in their beloved kingdom was in trouble. The kingdom itself was facing this existential threat. So naturally, I thought, I have to do something. I'm their child. If I can help, I have a responsibility to do so. But despite my resolve, there wasn't much I could actually do. In the end, this was the only idea I came up with. Mom, Dad, I want you to sacrifice me to the monster and say that an oracle said you had to. I had no idea if it would work. It seemed like I might end up dead, but I didn't mean I was walking into certain death. I was just going to do what I figured a hero from the stories would do in this situation. Yes, I was going to do battle with the monster. I would pretend to be chained to the boulder, and when the monster settled up and lazily opened its mouth to eat me, I would ambush and kill it. I don't clearly remember what my weapon was. Maybe it was a hidden dagger, or maybe it was a needle tipped with poison. Hell, I might not have had a weapon at all and just grabbed the sharpest rock I could find nearby. Whatever it was, though, I wasn't going to go down without a fight. If I succeeded at killing the monster like a real hero, then great. If I didn't and ended up eaten, then my grieving parents would just need to say, "O gods of Olympus, O great Poseidon and beautiful Nereids, we have sacrificed our daughter as penance for our unforgivable mistake. Please quell your anger." And then that would be that. I thought it was a great idea. No matter what happened, I figured things would work out. But then, while I was waiting with bated breath for the monster to arrive, as I hid my trembling hands, leaned on my chains to stop my legs from giving out, and tried to convince myself the tears blurring my vision were actually just spray from the waves, a miracle happened. A true hero descended from the sky and easily saved me and my kingdom. Before then, I hadn't known what a true hero was. But from then on, I knew without a shadow of a doubt. I was incredibly fortunate, maybe too fortunate. My first and last exposure to a hero was to the pinnacle of what a hero could be. So, while this may not be the best choice of words, the moment he descended from the sky and saved my life was also the moment when my own heroic ambitions died. My eyes are getting even heavier. I can feel the weight of despondency pressing down on my shoulders. There is nothing I can do. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe it's okay if I just let myself sink into unconsciousness. I do really want to see him again, after all. Why even try? I'm just a damsel in distress anyway. A sacrificial maiden. I only exist to be rescued. No one will care if I give up. No one will take issue if I don't try my hardest. Yeah, I'm sure that's right. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna get some sleep. Wait, hang on. Something's nagging at me at the bottom of my, at the back of my mind. What was it again? Okay, next part. It's no use! She's still not responding. I think she might have lost consciousness. Damn it! It may not belong to me, but this is still my ship and I'm its ferryman. I'd be a laughingstock if I let a boat I'm steering capsize. I'm still held out here. Please keep calling to Andromeda, Master. You too, Da Vinci. Andromeda, can you hear me? Damn, we may be holding out for now, but we can't keep this up forever. We have to come up with a plan. I see you're racked with indecision. Very well then, I shall deign to lend you a helping hand. I can tell you exactly what your best, if not your only course of action here is. What is it, Semiramis? Please tell us. Alright, listen carefully. Why not forget about rescuing her? Huh? Let her die. Wait, hang on. Something's nagging at me at the back of my mind. What was it again? It's bitterness. There's something bitter at the back of my tongue. I was absolutely happy, that much is certain. I loved Perseus and I loved all the children we had together. It really was a blissfully sweet a life as I could have hoped for. And I think he felt the same way. But at times I also sensed just a hint of bitterness as well. Sometimes I was in his smile, sometimes in his sleeping face, sometimes in the way he would stare off into the horizon. It was very, very faint, so faint I don't think I would have ever noticed if I hadn't spent my life by his side. So faint nobody would have ever noticed unless they had tied their life to his. Sometimes that bitterness was tinged with other things, too. Tiredness, sadness, emptiness, coldness. Whenever I thought I caught a glimpse of it, I'd always wonder what it meant. I never figured it out for sure, but I think I at least have an idea. I think it had something to do with his being a genuine hero. The kind of amazing, one-of-a-kind hero the gods truly smile upon. Maybe it was all in my head. Maybe that bitterness never existed at all. But whether it did or not, I thought it was there, and it never quite stopped nagging at me. Even now, I don't know the answer. But every time I wonder what that expression on his face meant, I can feel a dead part of myself aching with pain. The part that never got a chance to become a hero myself. I don't blame him for losing my chance to become a hero. It has nothing to do with that. I really was happy when he saved me, and I know better than anyone how his heroics outclassed anything I could have done. But the part of me that couldn't understand it, she was still sad. Because even though I genuinely loved him from the bottom of my heart, the very fact that I had given up on being a hero myself so that I would have been placed by his side meant I wasn't even qualified to understand. Hey Perseus, can I ask you something? What would you think if, by some chance, I managed to become a hero myself? On second thought, never mind. I don't need to ask. Maybe you only ever thought of me as the sacrificial damsel in distress you saved. But if that damsel somehow became a dashing hero like you, I'm sure you'd be happy for me. If I was a hero myself, I'd hope that I'd be able to take a little weight off your shoulders. I hope I could get rid of at least a little bit of the bitterness you felt always having to be a hero. Maybe there are things one hero can't do anything about, but with two, who knows? So that's why I'm not gonna fall asleep here, and I hope I can see you again. What would be the point? I'd just be repeating myself. No, the next time I see you, I want it to be as a new me, a heroic me. Because if I gave up on saving someone else, if I gave up on being a hero yet again, if I just went with the flow without ever standing on my own ground again, how could I hold my head high around you? So open your eyes, Andromeda. Tighten your fists. Remember that bitterness you could never forget? You can't let yourself lose now. Not like this. Wait! This really is bitter. God, what the hell? Did she eat dark chocolate or something? Oh, you're awake. How fortunate that it reached you. Huh? Empress, what reached me? Did I not tell you? I said I could throw in some poison if worse came to worse. Huh? You mean... Indeed, I released a poison that would cause anyone charged with magical energy to suffer. It was much easier than my usual administration since I merely needed to let it flow down a hole instead of only affecting a small target. It's still so bitter and my skin is tingling. What did you do to me? Oh, I fell asleep, didn't I? And this was a kind of shock therapy to wake me up? Perhaps. Or perhaps I was simply trying to finish you off once your whereabouts were lost to us. Still, I did adjust the poison to affect the chocolate more than a little girl servant, so be grateful for that. Okay, that's enough posturing. Andromeda, I'm so glad you reached you again. Are you okay? Yeah, more or less. What a relief. If you're still pouring in poison, do you think you could stop? It's kind of making me itchy. Listen, this poison is the only thing weakening the hole's resistance. If I stop the poison, the chocolate connected to the Holy Grail will begin acting up again, since it too is charged with magical energy. Your life may no longer be in danger, but you are still in the belly of the beast. Is there anything you can do about that? Well, there was that light I just saw. I wonder if what that was about. Light from the Holy Grail? No, it wasn't quite like that. It felt like warmer, like it was inspiring me to be brave or something. Wait, huh? It's coming from inside my clothes? What is this? He's going Super Saiyan. Yeah, and now for the final part where she goes Super Saiyan. She enters her final form and just completely fucking stomps on everyone, destroys them, dunks on them, dunks the hole, and leaves. Oh, it's the chocolate dudes. It's chocolate. The chocolate I got from all those people I met on the river. Oh my god, she is going Super Saiyan God. But why is it glowing? Oh, I think I get it. It's because it's alive. None of them had given up on seeing their heart's desire. I wonder, maybe that's true for all of it? Hey, guys, are you there? If you are, then it's okay if you don't have to be scared. This is a sign. Even though it's this chocolate may not have reached its recipient, it still hasn't given up. And now this warmth and light, it's priming to pump for... Aha, I knew it. You guys were so sad and agonized about not reaching your recipients that it felt like you were dying. But you're not actually dead. Damn, she got in my eye. Yeah, that's right. Since you're not dead, there's no need to go to the underworld. Let's go where you really want to go, where you can see the people you want to see. Know what I have to do now. Can you guys get ready? Sure, but ready for what? I'm going to send all the chocolate in here back outside. I think that will probably get the Holy Grail connected to it to come out, too. Then it'll be up to you guys to work together to collect it. You're gonna send out the chocolate? Can you do that? Sure I can. Told you she went Super Saiyan God. They all want to come out anyway. Wait, what's with my getup? Is this really me? Me, you didn't realize? How are you more surprised than we are? Well, never mind that for now. I'm pulling on the chocolate with my chain, so make sure you guys are ready when it comes out. Here we go! But that chocolate has already fallen down a hole into the underworld, even if that underworld is still in the midst of forming. Are you certain you can pull it out with your chains? Ah, I see. We come this far on a river which treats boulders and chocolate as the same thing. In which case, she can manipulate the chocolate in this hole just like she can her boulders. Hang in there, me. Hang in there, Cetus. Listen, guys. I know none of you want to give up on your dreams, so come on, work with me here. Huh? The ship's anchor. It's wrapping around my chains and pulling with me? Looks like this body's owner likes what you had to say. Don't worry, Columbus. Whatever it costs to drop and weigh anchor, I'll pay it in silver, so pull with all your might. Watch out, the hole's still trying to fight back. Let's put it in its place, you two. Right, don't worry, Master. I'll do everything I can to help Andromeda and Charon's plan succeed. I suppose it'll be useful to the future to see how well my poison worked on this chocolate. Now we're going back to the hole. Fighting the hole. Let's see. Nope. You know, since this is the final battle, I may as well actually bring her in. Okay, there we go. My Servental. And then we'll go here. Go there. We'll bring in Castoria, because why not? then we'll go ruler. Then some backups. We'll obviously bring in mesh. And then moon cancer should be. I'll do it this way. Let's fight! Final battle! As soon as it finishes loading. I just realized it became 8 p.m., so it is day roll. So it is likely sending me back to the front. God fucking damn it. Is there anything announced in the news? Nope. Okay, well. I kind of put a little bit of a damper. I'm going to be so annoyed if it makes me make the goddamn team again. Here we go. Skip the cutscene. God damn it. This is what I suffer with. This is what I suffer through. Actually, I'll pause so the fight starts. There we go. I went with regular 4-star BB over the 5-star BB. Just because she is better in a solo fight. At least in theory, anyway. Yeah, that hole is glowing alright. Feel the glow. Alright, let's fuck up this giant hole. Now, does this only apply to her? I mean, that's good in general to have in there. There we go. Then we'll go here. Here we go. Let's hold it, hold it, hold it. Santa Maria, drop anchor. Hit him. See, all things eventually return to Super Saiyan God. Kira Toriyama realized at some point that the true path to a great story is how can you eventually make it so that 5 people make one person super strong, like almost godlike in their appearance and like their fighting style. He figured out the strats many years ago, and we're simply just following up after. Okay, so I'm going to go. Why not? I'm not sure if this is all necessary, but I'm gonna do it all just in case the one of them randomly dies. And it's been a while since I've seen Semiramis' Hanging Garden. And she shows up front. I also do know that if I had done Castorius first, it would have buffed them all, but I don't really want the buff. I want the shields more than anything else. It is funny to think about, like, I think I actually very rarely ever get to use this first. I think the only time I ever use it first is if I'm looping, but almost 9 out of 10 times I am using it second so that I can get the overcharge effect. Ooh, spooky. Ow. Not bad. Damn! Yeah, this thing's dead. He fucked that hole unbelievably. It was like a pure hole destruction on display. It was insane. Woo, some strawberries and comets. Comet shards. The hole has stopped fighting back. We're ready for you, Andromeda. Go! Yay, it worked. It seemed like a pretty brute force approach, but I can't argue with the results. You were right. When all the chocolate came out, the Holy Grail connected to it did too. There it is. Thanks to all the fighting, its magical energy has dispersed and it's losing its hold on its surroundings and its effect on the world. You should be able to collect it and seal it up just fine. Would you do the honors, Andromeda? Leave it to me. Yup. Okay, I got it. So, do I just have to give this to, you know, Mash? Yeah, so it'll be nice and safe in my shield. Thank you so much. Now that the hole's core is gone, the hole's quickly losing its underworld properties. Pretty soon, it'll either just be a regular hole or it'll disappear altogether. Be that as it may, why is all this chocolate flying off in disparate directions? You need to ask? All that chocolate was made to be gifted, so it's going to where it needs to go. Aha, now I see. Maybe it wasn't just brute force after all. There was a Holy Grail in that hole, and Holy Grails are obviously all about granting wishes. So if Andromeda made a connection to it and wished that it all went back to where it belonged, maybe that's what got the nearby chocolate to reverse course. This whole thing started spontaneously after all. So it's definitely possible that there was still a chance for someone to use the Holy Grail to intervene. Still, even if I'm right about all this, I guess she did it all subconsciously, just like that ascension that even took her by surprise. She doesn't even know her own strength. That's true, Power. Alright, we're at the epilogue, folks. Let's wrap this up and finish off this story. Epilogue. Hey, Perseus. If I'd been a hero, if I could have stood next to you on equal ground, could I have helped share the sadness you felt as a hero? Could I have understood it? Could we have had the same thing we had back then, but in a different shape? Could we have gone through life together with such a little less hardship? And a little more joy? Of course, no matter how many times I talk to him in my mind, there will never be an answer. So I looked down at my own body and giggled. Is this what I look like as a hero? I don't know. But I think I have at least gotten closer. For now, that's good enough. I guess I won't be able to see you just yet. But until I do, I'll keep saying it over and over. I miss you, Perseus. I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I'm back to my old self. Oh well. You did great. No, you guys did. That couldn't have been easier. That couldn't have been easy. Oh, and let me say thanks. I think I'm one step closer to my dream now. And it's all because of you guys. Of course, I still have no idea how much further I have to go, but that's okay. Just knowing it's okay for me to keep going in this direction is a huge win. I hope you get there someday and that you're able to stand by Perseus' side. I think he'd love that too. Our connections really lets you understand my feelings, huh? This is kind of embarrassing. But I guess I don't mind you knowing. Well, now that my job is done, it looks like this is goodbye. But you know, I have a feeling we'll see each other again. Oh yeah, we definitely established a bond with you over the course of this mission, so that seems very likely. Yes, I hope you'll come see us at Chaldea next time. We have a simulator that you can let you go swimming in any ocean you like as for much as you want. Well, really? That sounds awesome. And speaking of wins, I think I had a personal one here, too. I now have a better idea of what to do for my Valentine's chocolate this year. I think that idea will get clearer this time. Ooh, I don't know what that's all about, but from the look in your eyes, it seems like you're up for romance talk than I... It seems like you're more up for romance talk than I realized, Mash. Oh, I don't know. I'm still in learning phases when it comes to that. Well, the next time we meet, we'll have to talk romance then, too. Don't worry, I'm still learning plenty about it myself. Okay, sounds great. Looks like this is it for me too. Dude, can you stay? And Columbus can like stay hidden away. I like you more than Columbus. And this will let the artist finally live out his dream of making more outfits for Columbus. As far as ferryman duties go, I think I did what I had to. I collected a fare, brought my passengers where they needed to go, and destroyed a port of call that no ship should ever end up at. This ought to keep Hades off my back. Thanks, I appreciate this. And to show it, I'm gonna give you back the change for your fare. Huh? Aside from the times when another river collided with us, it was pretty smooth sailings, right? That's because someone else besides my patron, Missy, had someone they dearly missed. And we're throwing in boulders that fit the river's traits. Or to put it another way, the servant who added the most boulders to the river sped us up, because they just happened to have someone they fiercely wanted to see again, too. And which one of you besides Missy had the most chances to throw in boulders? Well, Senpai and I were busy gathering chocolate, so it would have to be... What is it? I don't understand. What are you trying to say? I'm saying your chief engineer there definitely has someone she misses too. Though I don't know if she really is aware of it or if she's just pretending to be. So my advice and the change I owe you is to take this chance to be more honest with yourself. I have no idea who you could be talking about. This conversation is over. I know I said you reminded me of my mother, Empress, but I guess you're also very different. You should have had more confidence in yourself, and don't be afraid to be honest with your feelings either. You're so pretty that I'm sure it'll go well for you. Is that your way of asking for another dose of poison? Of course, in that sense, Columbus here might have been no different. If he hadn't had someone he dearly wanted to see again, himself, a half-assed being like me would never be able to negotiate our deal. Someone Columbus misses, huh? I wonder who it could be. Maybe a wife or children, or one of his closest mates from his voyage? Money? Beats me, you'll have to try asking him yourself. Anyway, looks like my time is up. Take care, people. If you ever need a ferryman to the underworld, you'll always have a spot on my boat. Just don't forget the silver pieces, or you'll have to wait another 100 years. Bye, Cooler Columbus. I think this is it for me too. Bye, guys. I cannot believe I was roped into such frivolous discussion of love right until the last moment. I will admit that your overly headstrong job performance did help us finish this mission sooner, but you have yet to impress me elsewise. So if you should come to Chaldea one day, know that I will do everything in my power to teach you the proper way to behave towards an empress. Is that clear, Princess Andromeda? Yeah. Okay, but go easy on me. She is kind of like Goku, now that we think about it. Andromeda and Charon have returned to the throne. And it looks like someone else is back in their place. Whew! Glad that's over with. There's the criminal mastermind behind all this. Hey now, I didn't do anything wrong this time, or any other time for that matter. Part of me still thinks things might have been easier if you had just told us everything from the start. But I suppose it's possible, if not likely, that you were unable to do anything with Charon taking over. That's exactly right. I was more of a middleman than anything else this time. Don't get me wrong, it's nice making money without having to do any actual work yourself. But it's not as easy going as you'd think, being so attentive and keeping things running smoothly. Ah well, at least everything worked out nicely. What, did you get a nice big silver coin payoff from Charon or something? Between the fee for his clothes, the one to inhabit your spirit origin, and the one to use your ship, I bet you made a bundle off of him. Hey now, don't get me wrong, this wasn't just about money. One reason I helped Charon out was just because I felt I had a responsibility to. Oh, and why's that? Remember what he said back at the start about about this being a river of dead chocolate? Well, I still have bitter memories of what could have been with the cacao I wasted back in the day. I was so excited when I brought it back to Europe since I was sure it'd make a killing. But I just couldn't figure out a way to process it for European palates. Anyway, this counts as dead chocolate too, right? So I figured I might have at least had, I must have had at least part of this river. But then, it turns out the chocolate wasn't dead after all. Just goes to show you never give up on your dreams. That chocolate doesn't have to stay wasted forever. If I make a killing off chocolate now, then I'm sure that cacao will lead to a happy afterlife. Ha ha ha! I guess I'll just have to chalk up that beard to you getting back to business as usual. So who is it you wanted to see so badly again, anyway? I never thought that much about it. Now that you mention it, yeah, I do know who that is. Who then? The only person I'd ever want to see more than anything would be, of course, be... You're the god that saw fit to give me big dreams and help them come true. If I ever get the chance to meet the higher power, I'd love to tell it how grateful I am face to face. Columbus, do you want to see God? Piety, damn it, you of all people aren't supposed to leave us liking you more than we did before. Why not? Speak for yourself, Da Vinci. I still hate you, Columbus. It's on site. At any rate, it ain't easy making your dreams come true. It ain't exactly painless either. But that's also why, when one of them comes true, it's the greatest feeling in the world. I know I'm not saying anything profound here, but it's still true. So I say, have the courage to keep moving forward. It'd be a waste to let chocolate you took the time to prepare to die without ever giving it to who you made it for. And as long as you don't give up, your dreams will surely come true someday. But I guess I don't gotta say that again, huh? No matter how much it might seem like people might have learned their lesson and given up, there's more people out there who don't want to give up no matter what. The still living chocolate dances throughout the air. It goes to where it needs to go to see the people it wants to see. Its radiance, sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter, is protected by courage that seeps down to its core. Maybe it all started with the people who made it, maybe it started with the woman who smiled at the thought of it. But no matter how it started, the chocolate was pure hope, through and through. It was the embodiment of the desire to not disappear, to not give out under pressure. Do not give up for anything. The kinds of wishes everyone has, given physical form for all to see. The former river sparkled as it flew over the onlookers' heads. And even when every bit of chocolate there eventually disappears, new chocolate will surely keep being made as long as people keep wishing. Meow. And I assume this is Mash's chocolate made? Pure Galaxy. details. A Valentine's Day gift from MASH. That day, she looked up and saw hope embodied in the myriad lights streaking through the sky. That sight inspired this chocolate cake. Using marbled ball chocolate, translucent jelly, and more, MASH has painted a beautiful scene of space, the stars, and the Milky Way. Naturally, the cake is galactic, not only in appearance but also flavor. It invokes the brilliance of that sky, of motes of light brimming with the strength of unyielding resolve and wishes yet to be fulfilled, that rivals that of the pioneer who changed the world. It is an utterly human expression, precise, bright, and uncertain whether she can truly whether she truly carries the same spark within. There's the Holy Grail. And Andromeda's profile has been updated. And I can finally do these. And that's finally the it, everyone. A very cute story. Very short, very sweet. I liked it. Andromeda seems like a pretty cool girl. I like the bit they did about Columbus, because it plays on the fact that everyone hates Columbus, and the reason that he couldn't have explained it is because, well, all of you seem to not like Columbus. How was I supposed to know that I picked the worst person to inhabit? Very cool, very well done, very nice, very sweet. I hope to eventually. I wish they actually added person. This is something I've always been kind of annoyed with. I really do like it when they add more husband and wife pairs, but I also find it annoying when they don't actually include the other half. Bradamante's still waiting for her other half. Andromeda's waiting for her other half. So many others. So I kind of wish that Perseus kind of gets added to the game eventually, but that's how I feel about it right now. So thank you very much for watching every single one of these. I guess that's finally it. So once again, I guess if you made it all the way, feel free to leave a like, and yeah, that's good. I'll be back with some more videos on a later date. Till next time, everyone. Bye-bye. And I guess happy Valentine's Day, even though it's like 4 or 5 days after the fact. Or even more, depending on when you watch this. Goodbye, everyone.